Hey everybody, Jason here from Premier Janitorial, back on our Thursday, every Thursday live event. Take back your time. The topic. Probably some people are looking at that thinking, what in the world is this guy going to talk about? What's he mean, take back your time? Well, how many of you go to work every day and you have a plan, right? You're thinking, okay, you got a list. I'm going to get all these things done today, or this is what I want to get done, or the project I want to get done. Next thing you know, you look at your watch, it's after lunch, 2 or 3 o'clock, and you have gotten absolutely nothing done that you planned that day and feel like, man, I have gotten nothing done today. Or you end the day and it's like, I've done nothing. And then you go home and you take your work home with you. So you're working on it and you're torn because you're trying to take time to be with your family in the evenings and you didn't feel like you got any work done. So you spend time at home doing work versus doing it at work when you're there. And I'm talking to all of us about this. This is an issue that I struggle with, that I'm working on and haven't got 100% perfected. So I'm not speaking to you as a expert in the field or anything, but something that I'm working on, continually working on. I've got an accountability group that I've got some folks that are helping keep me accountable for that. As a matter of fact, I have a couple of groups, and one of them, that was one of the commitments we made just this Monday. We meet every 2 weeks. That we're going to be working on accountability to each other. So, and that's one of the things we'll talk about as we get a little further in this. Hey, Kev, how you doing? I see he's out there. Kevin never misses these. He puts his lunch break so that he can watch these every day. I don't know why. If he likes to just get on here and make fun of me or poke at me, or no, I'm just kidding, Kev. Anyway, so the goal of this is to figure out how to be more focused and get our time back. Time's like money, right? Once it's gone, it's gone. You can't get it back. So we want to be more focused and more diligent with our time. And we want to tell our time, kind of like Dave Ramsey says, right? You want to be able to tell your money where it goes. Anybody that's followed Dave Ramsey? Well, we want to create a system where we can tell our time where it's going and what we're doing during that time. And you've got to have some kind of a system to do that. And the system I use, or they call it boxing our time. And basically all that is you take your schedule for the day and you box it out on what you're going to do during that time, whether it could be 30-minute increments, hour increments. I mean, whatever those increments are that you need or you feel you need for those, you want to create times for those. For me, I have 3 different categories: working on the business, which that's working on systems, culture, growing the business, client attraction, automating the business, or working in the business, like paying bills, talking with the team members. Anything that's not producing revenue for us would be considered working in the business. Then working out of the business. That's our personal time. That's, not working. That's working out, going to church, having family time, just, personal time, just working on things that are for us. So like I said, first thing you do is you have to have a system. But then the next biggest thing is once you have to have a system, one of the things that I found is really to help. Oh, Kevin say, oh, you actually learned some stuff from me. That's cool, Kev, thanks. So you have to have a system. And once you have to have a system, you've got to eliminate the distractions. That's the biggest thing that I think kills all of us. With social media today, how many times do people get on, oh, I'm just going to check Facebook real quick. And you'll get in there and your video will pop up and you'll be watching that video. And then you'll scroll down, or that video all of a sudden opens up another video. And next thing you know, you look at your watch and you're 20 to 30 minutes gone in Facebook. Or another thing that'll happen, you'll be working on something and you get a notification on your phone that pops up, or those notifications on your computer where an email pops up. And you just look at it real quick. But even that little bit of distraction, just taking that distraction off what you're doing, even if you don't answer it per se, but just that distraction, they say on average it takes an additional 25% to finish the task you were working on if you let some kind of a distraction take your focus off what you're doing. So if you had a task that's going to take you an hour, now it takes you an hour and 15 minutes just from that distraction. And let's say you spent 5, 10, 15 minutes on that distraction. You actually let it take your focus completely off. So now that hour task can take an hour and a half, hour and 45. Next thing you know, it's taking 2 hours to do something that should be taking only an hour to do. So that's the biggest thing, is you've got to eliminate that distraction. So a lot of people say, well, I've got to answer emails, or I've got to take these phone calls. Well, most of us feel that way. We feel like we're so important that we have to be there. We have to be available. And some people do have jobs maybe where you do. Maybe you're in an office where you're the go-to guy. But what you can do is you can train not only people through email and phone calls, put a set up in your boxing time. So in your calendar of events, so if you've got from, let's say your work day is 9 to 5, and that's the day you have to plan for. So let's say you say, okay, from 10 to 10:30 is when I'm going to answer emails. That'll give you time to get to work and start a project or do what you need to do. And any emails or phone calls that may have come in that you've avoided, or not, I don't want to say avoided, but that you haven't taken, from maybe 10 to 10:30, you box the time. And that's when I'm going to take emails. And that's when I'm going to check my voicemails or see if any missed calls of anybody I need to call back. If you're in an office where maybe you have people that come see you, staff, an office manager, you're running an office or something where they come to you, you could teach your staff that, hey, that's when my door is going to be open. The rest of the time when my door's closed, that means I'm either in a meeting or I'm busy doing something else where I can't be distracted at the time. If my door is open, then you're more than welcome to come in and we can talk about whatever the issue is or whatever you need help with or whatever it is you need to do with them. So if you box that time, you can train your staff, you can train people through email, you can even put an out-of-office reply. They've got those autoresponders that say, hey, I check emails from this time to this time, I'll get back to you during that time. Same thing with your phone. Put a message on your voicemail saying, hey, look, I'm in the office today, but I'm not taking phone calls. I'll get back to you from this time to this time. I've got a business coach that's I haven't, created all this stuff. And I mean, I guess a lot of us don't even realize we have such a bad problem, which of doing these things. He's brought this up to us. He wants us to really do this once a day. I'm not going to say I can't do it, but I haven't conceded that fact yet. I'm still in the process of what I'm doing is I'm checking my emails and my voicemails twice a day when I'm using the system. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm not just preaching to anybody that's out there listening. I'm preaching to the choir, to myself too, because I've got an issue with this too. And it's something that I don't want to say I'm constantly struggling with, but it's something that I'm constantly working with. It's kind of like anything else you do. It's not something that just comes easy overnight. You're not just going to all of a sudden start doing this and have your time tracking fixed. It's something that you have to work on. They say habits take 2 weeks, a minimum of 2 weeks to start to form. And so with this, that's going to be a lot of the same thing. The beauty of the system, though, is if you can get this down, is it can work when you're on vacation or if you want to take time off. If you've got, if you're a business owner and you've got your people trained that, hey, I'm only available during these 2 30-minute blocks of your time when you're going to be available for those phone calls or those emails or to chat with people. And once they get used to that, it makes it easier for you to step out and be actually out of the picture where you can be on vacation, take time off. And it's up to you how much time you determine you're going to use for each one of these blocks. I say 30-minute blocks, you may need an hour and a half for these blocks. That's something that you're going to have to determine. I can determine, well, how much time do I want to working on the business, trying to create these systems and to grow the business, or how much time do I want to work in the business where I'm actually, doing some of the things that are working with the people. And as you scale these things, you can choose how much time you're going to spend on all these based on what it is you want to get done. How much time you want out of the business or off work doing personal things. There's all kinds of technology out there. Some people, they're like, oh, I've got to have it on my phone. You've got Outlook. There's all kinds of calendars. There's all kinds of time tracking devices. I just use a simple, it's through Google. I think it's a Google sheet or like an Excel spreadsheet. It just has blocks. And then I put on there, I try to do it on Sundays, kind of lay my schedule out for the week. And it's a rough schedule for the whole week. I mean, you have meetings. I know I have like these Facebook Lives, so I have time blocked for those and some other things. But then on Monday, you want to have that schedule written down exactly what you want your Monday to look like. And then the key is, as you go throughout your day, and especially at the end of the day, you want to track that. You want to go back and say, okay, here's what I actually did. Make notes. What worked? What didn't work? What was not enough time? What do I need more time on? And make notes, because you have to make adjustments, just like a budget. We used a budget earlier, just like your budget, right? As you're spending your money, your budgets get adjusted as you see you need a greater, you need more money for food and you didn't need quite as much money for this area. I mean, obviously you take from one area, you've got to give it to another. So you can do the same thing with your time tracking, just like you do a budget. You want to make adjustments. And then at the end of the day, figure out what worked and didn't, and then lay out your plan for the next day. And as you're doing this, I think you'll really be surprised how many of those things, when you have those lists that you weren't getting done before, that now all of a sudden you may be getting done. You're not just wasting your day and end of the day saying, man, I was at work all day today, had this long list of things to do. Not only did I not get that done, more things piled up on my list because I was too busy putting out fires. How many times do people say that? Oh, I'm putting out fires. Well, how many times do you have emergencies that really aren't emergencies if you just let them go into those times? And a lot of times if we let our staff or our people empower them and give them the opportunity to try to solve some of these things, how many times do you think that could happen versus us stepping in and doing it? One of the things we do is, speaking of that issue, one of the things I talked about earlier is maybe you have a staff that needs to come see you, or you have a door where they can come in. So if they come in with an issue, a couple ways to approach it is, one, is it something that you have to take over, or is there maybe another staff member that they should be doing that's really not in your lane or in your responsibility? You can send them to go work with that person, or empower them. Maybe instead of just giving them the answer, talk them through it. We run our company based on our core values. So when people come to us, we want to empower them and let them make decisions. As long as they're using those core values as a basis for their decision, it may not be the perfect answer, and it may not even be the right answer, but it can't be a bad answer or the wrong answer. So you can talk them through that and empower them. So the next time that a decision needs to be made, instead of them having to come bother you, or that emergency comes up, they know how to handle it and they can take care of it. And all of a sudden you hear about it and say, hey, great job. Or, they come and tell you about it. And like I said, maybe it wasn't the perfect one. You can say, hey, we could look at it. It was a good answer, but what if maybe we did this? So that's another way that you can use this time tracking. And when you have that time set aside when your staff comes to you. Like I said, we've got, hey, Caitlin, how you doing? Spencer must have just got done. I got a buddy that's in the same program I am, and it was funny because he does these Facebook Lives, and he was doing, I posted what I was going to talk about today, and I don't know if he did it at the same time or was thinking the same thing. We're basically posting the same thing. So some of our people in our group are probably going to watch them both. We've got kind of a little competition going to see who gives a better presentation. Little joke running between us. Anyway, so we've got two choices, right? We can keep doing things the old way, the old-fashioned way, and just get at the end of the day and just let the chips fall where they are, and not really, have a plan or a schedule for the day and let the day distract us and let things get in the way. Or we can, make changes and make choices and be in charge of our time and take our time back. And that was the whole thing of, take back your time is, you want to be in charge of your time. Tell your time what you're going to do every day. But like I said, the crucial thing is not only to make the plan, stick to it, but then track it. Have an actual tool where you're tracking to see what you've done so you can make changes. And I guarantee you, I've done it, and I've been doing it for times, and I know the difference of, hey, I felt like I got things done, and then I get away from it, and I end my day, and I'm like, man, if I had hair, I'd want to pull it out, because it's just like, I got nothing done today. I felt like I went to the office and did absolutely nothing. I know there's things I need to be working on, and I had a list of things, but I got on my phone, I got on Facebook, and I did all these things, and before I knew it, my day was over. And I don't know about you, but that drives me nuts. Like I said, this isn't something that's going to happen overnight. It's just like any other habit. It takes time to form. But the cool thing is once you get this down and you start doing this, you don't have to specifically be on this time tracking every day. You can build these habits to where you stay on track and do things. And then if you notice yourself slipping, then you can go back to whatever the system is you're using. Like I said, I use an Excel spreadsheet, and we call it boxing time. Just put your time in a box, try to do what it says, and stay on track and stay focused. So I hope everybody got a little bit of information out this. It helps you out. I know it's helped me a lot. And I keep working on it. Oh, so Caitlin was there. Hey, my mom's out there. Hi, Mom. And hope you have a great day. And if you're out there and you want to work with a company that runs their business like this, you're looking for maybe an upgrade on your cleaning company, we've got a link here. You can go to, let's see if it's going to show up there. I don't know if it's there. I can't tell if it's there. pjsak.com/upgrade me. Give you some information on changing your cleaning company. And we'll see you again in the